You're watching the Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Bartkus. Woo! It is draft time. I'm very excited to give you guys my top 5 draft targets for the 2026 NFL Draft. It feels like yesterday we were still in the middle of the season, and now we're talking about the 2026 NFL Draft. I don't know how we got here, but I'm very excited to give my top 5 for the Bucs going into the 2026 NFL offseason. These are team needs, if you did not know. I would have put all defense, but we still need some offensive lineman help. And maybe a tight end if we want to move on from Cade Otton. But edge rusher, linebacker, those are the two that I'm really going to be focusing on today. Because if you didn't know, Lavonte David probably going to retire. And our entire defensive line, except for Vita Vea, really, and our edge rushers just did not perform as well as we thought in 2025. So those are team needs, but I want to ask you, what is the biggest need for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this offseason? Do you agree with me? Is it edge rusher and linebacker, or do you think it's something else? I've seen a couple of mock drafts from Bucs reporters or, insiders that are saying, a couple of them having mocked the Oregon tight end to go in the first round. So I don't know. But you let me know, what is the biggest Bucs offseason need? Mine, edge rusher and linebacker. All right, taking you to the first draft target. I know. I'm sure all of you, if you know who Ruben Bain is, I'm sure all of you just said, Reid, he's not going to be there. But my first, that's why I ranked him number 5, because I don't think he's going to be there when we're picking at number 15, but Rueben Bain Jr. is a monster on the defensive line. If you guys watched the Indiana-Miami championship, all I kept seeing was Rueben Bain Jr. getting after Fernando Mendoza, and for some reason they just left him unblocked a couple times, and I was like, what are you doing? He is destroying your offensive line. So he is a force to be reckoned with, and that's what we're looking for on our defensive line right now. We picked up Hassan Reddick, who we were expecting to be the Eagles' Hassan Reddick, who is getting double-digit sacks, but turns out we got the Jets' Hassan Reddick. But if you look at Ruben Bain's last 4 years, 54 tackles in 2025 and 9.5 sacks, 83 pressures. That's exactly what we're looking for out of an edge rusher for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he's gotten better over the last couple years that he's been in college, and he is just a specimen. If you guys watched the national championship, he was all over the place, and he's just the athlete we need on this defense to get it going in the right direction. But I just don't. He's not going to make it to number 15, especially after his performance against Indiana. So if he's there, don't be stupid. Don't overthink it. Make the pick. Just Jason Licht. If you see Ruben Bain at number 15, put it on the table. Make him a buck. We need him. But I don't think he's going to be there. So let's move on to somebody who I think will be there. At number 4, I have C.J. Allen, the linebacker out of Georgia. Now, this is an interesting guy. I was reading up on him a little bit. He is the typical linebacker. For a linebacker, he's great in coverage. 219 yards allowed, 0 touchdowns, 4 PBUs, a QB rating against him at 87.8. And this is, I will say it in a little bit, but we're probably going to lose Lavonte David to retirement. Or if not, this is a guy that you still draft in either way, because Lavonte David is continuing his career, but on a downslope. He's ending his career pretty soon. But last year in 2025, 88 tackles, 8 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. He's more of a coverage linebacker. He's not going to go rush the passer, but he still has that ability to stop the run and sort of just be an all-around linebacker a little bit. And he is one of the top prospects at linebacker right now. And I think any of these guys on this list today, we need, because the top prospects in linebacker or edge rusher, it's team needs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's who we're looking for. But like I said earlier, if Lavonte David is retiring, which he most likely will this year, we need a replacement. But if he stays, he can coach up whoever the Bucs draft at linebacker. So maybe if Levante wants to stay for one more year, the new guy will come in. Levante will coach him up a little bit, show him the ropes, and then he sort of flows right into getting significant playing time next year if Levante stays, but sort of let him have his last season and not be as into it as he was last year, because he is on a little bit of a downslope. But I like CJ Allen because he sort of fits the vibe of this defense and fits what this team needs as well. So I like him. But coming up, I got my top 3 prospects for the Bucs at number 15. Like I said earlier, Ruben Bain, probably not going to be there at 15, but these next 3 guys, if they're there at 15, which they most likely will, depending on certain mock drafts. The last guy, my first one, he's gaining some steam, so I hope he stays at 15. But got top 3 coming up in just a second. But before I do that, make sure you hit that sub button. You get daily videos every day, shorts, long form content like these. I'm trying my best to give you guys the greatest Bucs content, fun, entertaining. That's what I'm going for. I'm a Bucs fan just like you, giving you the information in a fun way, and you get to hear my opinion and just chop it up with me in the comments as well. But we do have a sub battle. Jags Now, another Florida YouTube channel here at Chat Sports. My guy Cullen over there, he's got 52 new subs this week to our 40 new subs. We need to beat Jags Now. I'm trying to be a better Florida new YouTube channel here at Chat Sports. So if you don't mind, hit that sub button. What you'll get, free daily fun Bucs videos all season long. The off season doesn't stop for us. Let's keep going. All right. Number 3 on my top 5 Bucs draft targets is Cashius Howell, the edge out of Texas A&M. And I am really high on this guy. He is a top prospect as well, but he has been being mocked actually past the Bucs sometimes. So I hope that the front office and Jason Licht and Todd Bowles sort of see his potential. But this is a Bleacher Report scouting report. Cashius Howell, good bend to the corner at the top of the rush. Physical and displays decent strength at the point of attack against the run, which is huge. We were terrible against the run in 2025, and I think having a guy who can kind of do both of, rush the passer, but also be able to stop the run and set the edge, really, really good. So he doesn't threaten offensive tackles with speed off the line of the scrimmage as a pass rusher, which I think is a little bit, me personally, not as exciting for a pass rusher. I like that speed off the edge because that's sort of what we're looking for. Having a guy like Hassan Reddick, he's a little bit slower, he's a little bit older, but I think this Cashius Howell would really complement Yaya Diaby on the other side. But last year, 31 tackles, 14 TFLs, 11.5 sacks, 41 pressures. Those double-digit sacks in college, that's what I'm looking for. That's production. That's what I love to see because that can turn into a better stat line and maybe like 7 or 8 sacks in the NFL, because the NFL step higher when you get into that pass rusher role as an edge rusher. Speed really helps with that, but a lot of the guys in college, they're not as strong as these pro NFL tackles. So this is a guy that you really need to keep your eye on because, like I said before, he's falling a little bit, but not in a bad way. Just some guys are hopping up in front of him because, like I said before, Rueben Bain Jr. had an insane national championship game. So he's climbing up those draft boards, which will move Howell down. But still, a really, really, really good prospect to keep your eye on. Let's keep moving on to my number 2 draft target. I've talked about this guy in another video, and any Bucs fans right now that do any research on who the Bucs could possibly draft with the number 15 pick, it is Sonny Styles. He is the linebacker out of Ohio State. Arvell Reese, obviously, another linebacker out of Ohio State. He's going to go in top 5 probably. I've seen him go into the Jets before. I think he's going to go before Sonny Styles. So I'm kind of putting him out of the picture because Sonny Styles is more at the 15 pick. But 82 tackles, 6.5 TFLs, 1 sack. He's more of a coverage linebacker. He's not really rushing the passer. Now, he actually started as a safety and then moved and changed positions to linebacker. So he's a little bit of a thinner frame, but that's no problem for the guys in the weight room in the Bucs facility. So, the guy, he's a linebacker. He's a coverage linebacker, and this would be your Lavonte David replacement for sure. And I'll talk about that in a second. But I mean, look at 2024, 100 tackles, 10.5 TFLs, 6 sacks. He's a guy who will make a play when there's a play to be made, and he flies around the field. So I really, really, really like this guy as well. Like I said, originally a safety, but switched to linebacker to get more playing time. And I mean, he wasn't bad as a safety either. He just guy loves football, so he wanted more playing time and moved down to linebacker. And like I said, Styles is your Lavonte David replacement. So if Lavonte retires, what do you want to do? You find a guy that sort of simulates what Lavonte can do. You beef this guy up a little bit, teach him how to plug the run holes, and he's already a great coverage guy like Lavonte is. So I think this is your number one option to replace Lavonte David if he does end up retiring. But what I said earlier, if he doesn't end up retiring, he's like, I want to come back for another year, then you draft him still because you have Lavonte now and you have Sonny Styles. So it's a win-win if you draft him, and he'll take over the role in 2027. So I really, really like Sonny Styles. Keep an eye on him. He's been mocked to the Bucs multiple times. But my number one target for the Bucs is David Bailey. I'm a little bit worried because he has been mocked to the Bengals before, and the Bengals pick at 10 before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 15. So if he falls to us, which I think he will, but you never know what happens in the NFL draft, I hope he does fall to us, but we'll see. But scouting report from Bleacher Report. Good acceleration off the line of scrimmage to win around the edge with speed. This guy's fast. And our arch rivals in the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons, there were some character concerns with James Pierce, but one of his things was he was fast, and he had a slimmer frame, but he was very, very fast around the edge, and everyone was like, I don't know if that's going to translate to the NFL. That's what I'm looking for because he had a ton of sacks for the Atlanta Falcons and set a record. So with David Bailey, he's got the speed, but when I look at him, the thing that pops out to me is the sacks, dude. Are you kidding me? 14.5 sacks. That is the production I am looking for because in 2025 with the Bucs, Yaya Diaby pass rushing, he had a good year, but our pass rush and our sack count was so much lower than I wanted to be. And David Bailey would turn that around immediately. And producer Chugs, if we could go back to the player card real quick, I just want to highlight something at the bottom there. He has several pass rush moves: hand swipe, rip, ghost rush, inside spin, and long arm. That is very, very important and something that I'm actually looking for because, yes, Yaya Diaby had a great year, or I guess a good year, but he really was just a bull rusher. And I think having a guy who has multiple ways to get to the passer or get to the passer is very important, and I really, really look for that in a prospect like David Bailey. This is the guy we need. This is the number one option for an edge rusher, in my opinion. If you guys have anybody else that you'd like to say, by all means, say him. But David Bailey, number one guy that we need on this defense to really get the ball rolling and help out this defense. And Todd Bowles, who is on the hot seat in 2026. So that'd be a great pick. We start off the 2026 NFL draft with a banger. If you go offense, which I really, really hope they don't, because this defense needs a lot more help than the offense does. And when you have a pick at 15, you got to go with your guy. So if you do go offense and they want to go offense, I wouldn't hate a Spencer Fano pick. The Utah offensive lineman plays tackle, but could play guard. I think a guy like him, he's very talented. You could put him at guard or at tackle. I'm cool with whatever, but just a maniac, and I love him. And then, like I was saying earlier in the beginning of the video, Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon, just a playmaker, man. He's been mocked to going to the Eagles, and if anyone's going to pick, if Howie Roseman's picking anybody, I think you should probably follow his idea. But anyways, if you want to go offense, playmaker, if you want to move on from Cade Otton as well, or if you don't want to go out in free agency to get a tight end, I think you could go with Sadiq. But those are my top 5, and plus 2 bonus ones if you want to go offense. These are my top 5 prospects for the 2026 NFL Draft for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You let me know which one is your favorite. Is it these 5 or is it somebody else? Type RB for Ruben Bain, which I know he probably won't be there. It's okay. That's why he's at number 5. Type CA for CJ Allen, Cashius Howell. Type CH. Sonny Styles, who I would be very, very happy with. Sonny Styles and David Bailey, if either of them are the pick, I'm cool either way because that is a home run hit for both of them. All right, Bucs fans, that's all I have for you on today's show. Make sure you hit the like button, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. Trying to grow this channel to 1,000 subscribers. We get more videos, get more studio space. We beat the other Florida channel, the Jaguars Now channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always, raise the flags.